Welcome to the Birds on Powerlines podcast. And this is a podcast where we talk about things that we enjoy. If you're new to the Birds on Powerlines podcast. So things that we enjoy, what does that mean? So fandoms, sometimes trips, vacations that we're on.
Generally things we're doing.
General things that we're having fun with that we'd like to share with you. Because we talk about these things anyways. And again, if you're new to the Birds on Powerlines podcast, we put out a podcast every second Tuesday of the month. And you can find us most places, but our main place is YouTube. And if you're watching us here on YouTube, that's wonderful. If you're listening on audio, thank you so much for listening. And so in this podcast, Project Hail Mary, so
us and everyone else.
Yes, and everyone else. And so here we go. We started with the book, right? So just to be clear on that.
So I read it right about when it came out, when it was first published, and then you read it more recently.
Yeah, I read it. Actually, I listened to it on audio.
Yeah, I have not listened to it on audio. I only read it.
Yeah, so and I'm going to talk about a little bit about listening to it on audio, and the differences between that, right?
Yeah. Did you actually read it physically?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, didn't read it physically. Just listen to it. Okay. And then very excited about seeing the movie.
I have the highly coveted dust jacket.
Dust jacket,
version.
The version, yeah,
the original version.
Without Ryan Gosling on it. And we actually had a book club with our good friends of ours as well, and we were talking about that before we saw the movie. We actually haven't sat down and talked about the movie yet. Yeah. We saw it separately. So hopefully, if you're listening, you know who you are. Let's talk about the movie. You can dissect everything we're talking about and tell us where we're wrong. So let's get into it. So I how do you want to do this?
I kind of just went in order of I didn't know. I didn't really.
Okay, so and if you're new, we take notes and then we share what our thoughts were. Yeah. So then I'm gonna have to put my glasses on. All right. So for me, what I did, I just put my immediate reaction to the movie. Okay. What was your first reaction when we were done watching? I know we looked at each other, but I don't know what you were thinking.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good. I wrote down, "Oh my God, loved it." Yeah. And I don't want to. I think most people who are going to see it have seen it. But I'm going to purposely not try to give out the ending. I might just talk about my feeling on the ending, just in case there's somebody who hasn't seen it yet.
Okay, why don't we just have disclaimer?
Disclaimer. Okay, disclaimer. There may be some spoilers in this. Yeah. All right,
we want to talk about it. We don't want to have to
So, but I don't.
There's spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet and you want to see it and you want to be surprised, come back and watch this later.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. That's probably the smarter way of doing it. Because I figure most people who are going to see it. Some people have seen it multiple times already. Yeah. So, like I was saying, I'm a huge fan of the book. And I don't think I was worried about seeing the movie and the comparison between the book and the movie. I don't think that was a thing that I was worried about.
I have the advantage of I read the book so long ago that I kind of don't remember something.
Didn't remember all the details. Yeah. So I think the way I did it is I kind of just went over a couple of things that I thought were different between the book and the movie.
Yeah. Okay. That was mainly what I focused my notes.
You did? Okay. Does that make sense? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to talk about?
No.
So I have. I think I have.
We're probably gonna say a lot of.
I have 3 points. So do you want me to?
Sure.
Well, okay. All right. So I think, and we did this in the movie. I know we both kind of thought the same thing. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the opening scene. It was the opening
sequence.
Well, the opening sequence where he wakes up.
Yeah.
On the ship.
Yeah.
So I mean, and believe me, I really enjoyed it, but my immediate reaction was, wow, that was quick.
Yeah, that was too fast.
So
I don't know how it would be for someone who hasn't read the book at all, but the only reason I even understood what was going on was because I read the book.
Because you read the book.
And
there were certain things that happened in that sequence that were things that happened in the book, but they didn't make a thing about it. To
be honest, I don't want to start this off negatively, but
that's not negative.
That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite parts of the book.
His self-discovery,
figuring things out alongside the character, and we kind of didn't quite get that from the. I understand why. Of all the things to cut, that probably would be the thing to shorten.
Yeah, like
but I was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah,
by
because
that,
in the book, it's like it
screen.
goes over. Like I don't think it would be unfair to say that that's like a quarter of the book.
Yeah,
I don't think it would be unfair to say that.
Yeah,
By the time he
or at least,
realizes
like,
who he is,
maybe,
and he doesn't fully realize until chapter 24, but I'm going to get to that. But I think this whole thing about, okay, you know, and these little things that he checks in with himself, he's like, oh, I'm a teacher. That's okay. Like things like that. You know,
I like kids.
I like kids
a lot.
I'm around
Wait,
kids
I don't
a lot.
like where this is going.
Yeah, there's that whole comedy wasn't in there. Like, I don't like where this is going. Oh, I'm a teacher. It's okay. Yeah, so that was kind of missing.
Yeah.
And then they did other things like, you know, the butt tube. They didn't talk about the butt tube,
but
they did an angle. They did an angle of Ryan Gosling, and you're like, oh yeah, there's the butt tube. Like if you read the book, you'd know that was the butt tube. But so things like that were also. It's true. It was fun. It was funny. You know, so there's that like little thing that, and I kind of liked how they did that. It's just like, oh yeah, if you read the book, you'll know what we're getting at just by showing you this 2 seconds on screen. So there was that.
But mainly the fact that he had to figure out, oh, I'm in space. That's what.
So that was another thing that I thought they did. So, you know, Andy Weir did so great in the book. He's like, he gets up, he's like, oh my God, I'm in space, right? You know, but that's not our star. Like he, you know, like these kinds of things were a little bit. I mean, he did a little bit of that.
I see. You know, I can see that it was purposely
like I mean it, don't get me wrong, it did not bother me, it was just our reaction that we went, wow, that went quick, like because in the book it is, so if you read the book, if you've seen the movie, it's and
very
then
slow paced.
It's so there's this whole
I wasn't
period,
ready for it to start that for that
there was a whole period of self-discovery. Well, I'm starting from the beginning going so that was like, we were like, wow, okay. And not that we didn't enjoy it, and I think the reason we did enjoy it even though it was shorter is because they did those little, you know, this was in the book, but we're not making a big thing about it, you know, like that. So, so if you read the book, you'd be like, oh, that's what's going through his mind at that time. So that part was shorter. The other thing that I was trying to remember, and I can't remember now, when he found the other two people in the movie, the other two astronauts. And for some reason, in the movie, where are they in their bags? Like where, or were they not? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
And I don't think so.
No.
Right. And then also in the book, I can't remember.
I don't think he was in a bag.
No, well, because he woke up, you know. But like I think there's this whole thing in the book.
I don't think there was anything with.
And the reason this is important is because of something else I'm going to talk about. So I was just trying to remember.
No, I don't.
Because I seem to remember
they looked like deceased.
But they looked like they were cleaned up, right? Like if you saw them, they didn't have the really long hair and all of this stuff, right?
Well, I don't think so.
So that was just
Maybe
was
they
the.
did.
I don't think they did. I don't know if they I don't know. Anyways, and I can't remember in the book if they did it or not. But I'm going to talk about why I'm bringing that up later. So that was the thing that I was trying to remember. So if you're listening to this and you remember, please comment. I want to remember how it was in the book and how it was in the movie, because you'll find out as we get through this why I'm bringing that up, because I heard an interview with Andy Weir and I want to sort of talk about what I heard. Okay, you want to? I don't know. Did I have anything else about that point? Having read the book, find that. Well, that was fast. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I was going to say about that.
Yeah, that's basically what I said about that too.
Yeah. Okay. So you haven't. You
mine aren't quite in order, but the one thing was like a bit further. I'm gonna kind of be skipping around a bit further in the movie. Not in the movie, in the book. There was like a whole discussion about like only a select few people could even. No, there was no discussion of coma resistance.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up,
and I do feel like that. I think it would have benefited from keeping that in.
Yeah, because then you really understand why needed to have him.
Why he specifically had to go. And
and I thought about that afterwards. They didn't include that little detail, and I'm not quite sure why they didn't include that detail, because that would because it would be very simple to say that. I
guess, I mean, maybe would have added like maybe 5 minutes or so, but.
So he was one of the people that had the resistance gene, and the resistance. If you haven't read the book and you don't know what we're talking about, there's this whole thing about only certain people could survive the stasis.
Of everyone on Earth, only a certain amount of people had this certain gene that made them resistant to like the
dying,
when being put into a very long coma. And then again, of those people, that selection of people who had that gene, only a selection of people were actually qualified to go on this.
Right.
Yeah.
And Ryland Grace was one of them,
Yeah,
and Strat did not have the gene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that would be another thing to think about for later on. So that would be I think that would have been like a 2-minute conversation. Anyways, so that wasn't in there. So I think that maybe that would be something I would have liked to have seen in there, just because
it would have made more sense than
I think it would have. But I guess in the
then,
in the long
he's
run,
the only one who's qualified. I mean, like, yes, he is also qualified, but also like it could be like there was a lot of backup scientists. So why him?
Yeah.
He's the main character.
But he sat in on everything,
Yes,
whereas the other scientists did not. They only sat in on their specific things. So actually, he knew more about these things.
True, but it would have added a little bit more.
Yeah, I guess with the gene, and it would have also explained stuff about Strat too, because she didn't have that gene. Because I think she would have done it if she could have. So, you want me to bring up the next thing?
Yes.
My next thing was the video room. Not in the book.
Oh, I literally.
Very cool.
We're talking about the video room.
Huh?
Stop stealing my nose. Yeah.
So the video room. Okay, so that was not in the book. It didn't need to be in the book, but I thought that was brilliant.
It probably wouldn't have translated.
I loved it. I loved seeing,
I love the fact like
Ryland and Rocky sitting there watching the
transitioning between like it looked like it was real and then it zooms out and it's like, oh, it's pixelated. Oh, it's the room.
And I just love that part with
like
Rocky going through there. It's like boring. It's like, what do you mean that's boring? Because he can't see it.
Yeah, he can't see it.
So then did they talk about how he made it able?
Yeah,
because
Rocky had like a technology that let him see what was on. He made
it. Yeah, that's right. He did. Yep. So but the first time when he comes in, boring.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny when they did that. So I really liked the addition of that, and it really, I think it added a lot to the movie. The fact that they could sit there and
it makes sense too. Like you have like these supposedly 3 people just like cooped up in this one unchanging environment for who knows how long, and they die there or whatever. Yeah, like they need to have a little bit of something to.
Unless you think that makes it harder for them to do that.
I don't know.
I don't know. So there's that.
I don't know. Well, I liked it.
A constant reminder of home, and then knowing you're not going to be able to go back. I don't know if I'd want to see that myself if that was in that situation. But
anyway, it looks pretty cool.
Yes. So that was a good addition.
It looked pretty cool.
Okay, so that I stole yours. Do you have another one?
Well, yeah, I have more. Of course,
Okay, go for it.
I have a bit more. Actually, I didn't write this down, but actually, I was thinking about this when you were talking about Rocky going through the ship. Yeah. Yeah, I liked that. He's just rolling all over his little ball. I liked that. That was cool. Yeah. He's making comments like he's snarky about it. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, well, how could you not love that character? I mean, it's just so funny.
I mean, it's so funny that don't get me wrong, like the actual like human actors playing humans,
Jamesortiz,
are great too. But like it's amazing how like you can just fall in love with a puppet. Doesn't even have a face.
Like, he has no face. I'm going to talk about Jamesortiz. I'm saving that. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's like same thing that like Star Wars does with the droids and stuff. Like how do you basically fall in love with that?
But, we'll talk about it. Okay, what was anything else that you're? Because I just want to talk about Jamesortiz. So
sure. I mean, and then also like kind of like the same way. I liked how they made the ship itself into a character, kind of a character. Like that was an addition.
And that's the thing. I like that they actually had to build that out. Yeah. So if you haven't seen Adam Savage's YouTubes on that set. Yeah. Go and watch those. Yeah. Those are very cool.
I feel like the way that they like characterize the ship, like Ryland always calling the ship, Mary, can you give me this? I like that.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant, and I feel like that. I feel like that's such. I feel like that's like real. I feel like I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that's just something that Ryan Gosling just happened. Like he probably was just riffing, and then it just happened.
But a lot of what they did was ad-libbing, anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that especially felt like that felt like.
And I think one of the reasons,
and it worked. It worked.
It did, and I think because he had such a passion for the movie itself.
Yeah.
I mean, the book itself.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, knowing that the lead actor had a real passion for the actual story before it became a movie.
And then I liked how, like, the ship, even though he wasn't on the ship anymore at the end, the arm is still there doing stuff. Like, it's still there. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else on that?
No.
Me?
Yeah.
Next one? My next one?
Yeah, your next one.
I said room with video. Did I say everything? Oh yeah, boring. Okay, ending with Strat. Not in the book.
No, that wasn't in the book.
I have a lot of feelings, but I just wrote it down because I have a lot. I just said ending with Strat.
Okay.
So if you haven't read the book, we don't see Strat at the end. So and then you know, our book club friends will know my feelings on Strat from reading the book, and I'll be honest. I think that listening to the book, so Sandra Hüller was the actress who played Strat, which you probably know. I think I was really angry with Strat. Okay, I'll just put it that way. Oh, okay. At the end of the book, and you know I was really angry because we talked about it in our book club.
Yeah.
I really wanted Ryland to go back and, you know, have a discussion with her.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I think that one of the reasons I felt that way at the end of, you know, listening to the book is because of the way it was read. And I can't remember the guy who read it. Okay. Oh, it's just so bad.
I did not really care. I didn't really care.
I'm so bad. I didn't write it down.
I didn't feel anything.
I apologize. And it was not that, but not that I don't think that he did a great job. He did. But I think the way he played her made me more angry with her than the way Sandra Hüller performed her.
I mean, they changed, like, they purposely made her a bit more, like,
yeah, but I don't know if all
sympathetic.
of it. I don't know if it was all. It was also the way she played. I don't think that because seeing her, and you know, I think Sandra had a very. She had, like, I don't think they really softened her. I really don't in the movie. I think
I don't think they. But softened I think they made her more, like, you kind of at her wits and, like, I need to fix this.
Yeah, like, and I think the way that Sandra played her, I appreciated them putting that scene with her on the ship and Rocky's little version of Ryland on there, and you know, and then they added that whole thing with him saying to Strat, "You were right," or something like that. Mm-hmm. You know, just to let you know that, you know, just in case she was feeling badly about what she did to get him on there, onto the Hail Mary. But because really, and this was sort of my next point, was chapter 24. Like, chapter 24 hit me really hard. Like, I did not see that coming. So chapter 24, if you haven't read the book, is where he discovers that he did not want to be on the Hail Mary, and that Strat actually forced him. And what they don't show in the movie is that that they actually drugged him to get him on there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they sedated him in the movie.
They sedated him in the movie,
but they, like, literally gave him amnesia.
Amnesia, like, so that he wouldn't even know when he woke up that he wasn't supposed to be there.
And then, of course, the crewmates wouldn't know.
Yeah, and the crewmates didn't know that. So that was just something between Strat and you know, and him and the people who did that. So that was something that was in the book. So I think after reading chapter 24 and the way it was read, I really, like, I want to say almost that I really didn't like her. Okay. I think that would be, so I really wanted him to go back and have an interaction with her. But I think
that's close enough, I guess.
That was, like, you didn't feel that way. That's how I felt about it. And I think maybe it's because I did hear it. Maybe. You know, maybe when you read it, it's a different way of experiencing that. And then, you know, talking about chapter 24, I was really worried that they wouldn't do chapter 24 because, I mean, I know in a way you have to do chapter 24, but at the same time I was afraid that they would soften chapter 24 because we still want to like Ryland Grace. Yeah. And I think they hit chapter 24 out of the park. Like, I personally think that chapter 24 in the movie was worse than chapter 24 in the book. Like, seeing Ryland Grace
worse in terms of, like, it makes you feel worse. Yes.
Yeah, but like, you know, in terms of him, like, trying to climb the shelves to get away from them and the whole pathetic running away. Like, I mean, he runs away in the book, but to see, like, I think that Yeah, so that exceeded my expectations. Like, to me, I felt that chapter 24 was going to be the make or break for me for that movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think even in one of our previous podcasts where we talked about the last trailer, I was just like, I think I even said in that podcast, I hope they do chapter 24. Because I was like, that was going to be the thing for me. And like I said, they hit it out of the park. I think that they made Rylan look even more pathetic in the movie.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Don't you think so?
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. It doesn't matter if you think. That's just how that's how it. So it really hit me, and I really, really liked it. So thank you for doing that.
Okay.
if anybody would be here, and I think that only Ryan Gosling could have pulled off that mix of being pathetic and horrifying at the same time. Like, I think he's just. I think he just did a really great job with that. Yeah. And then seeing Strat's reaction to what was happening. See, that's the thing you don't get in the book is you don't see, you just hear her words and the way they were read. Instead here,
because it's written in first person.
Well, but here now you can see, and that's where Sandra did an amazing job. And it's just like, she's upset about this. Right, she really is upset. In the book, it's just like, well, I'm going to make me do something that I don't want to do. But now you can actually see that she doesn't really want to do that, and she was really hoping he would say yes.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, but probably expecting he would say no.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You have any other thoughts on that?
No, not really. I mean, I like the fact that like I wasn't expecting him to climb the shelves.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That kind of took me that little.
It's just like, oh my god, because he's trying to get away.
Because I've never seen anyone do that before.
Because he's terrified.
Yeah.
And I think it's not only just being terrified about what is going to happen and that he's got to die out there, because that's something in the book. He really doesn't want to die out there by himself. He doesn't want to die alone.
I put the knot in astronaut.
No, I didn't.
You literally said that.
I put the knot in astronaut, right? Because he's really terrified, and I think also the weight of failing, right? I mean, because
you don't know if you get out there, you don't know what's gonna happen.
What if he fails, right? What if I can't find the solution? He doesn't want to be the reason that, and that's the thing, like being in science for as long as I have. The fear of failure is a thing. Like, it's, people don't realize that scientists have that fear of failure. I mean, it's a thing. Yeah. And here you're taking someone who was actually kicked out, right? For believing something that nobody else believed in. And now you're telling him, so I'm just adding that because that's another take on it, because you've already been, as a person, that takes a lot out of you, being kicked out of your field, and being sort of a disappointment in a way. And he lashes out in anger, which a lot of scientists do that. A lot of them do that. They lash out in anger when that kind of thing happens. Sure. But so that's the other level of that. So wow. Any other or else I'm gonna just keep going.
Yeah, no, keep going. Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about. Let me make sure I had everything here. Here, didn't explain why the selection process. So we already talked about the genes. So that was the other thing. Other things. The rest of the the rest of the crew. So coming back to this thing about the state of the rest of the crew. I was listening to an Andy Weir interview where they talk about, because I think the interviewer asked Andy Weir, well, what happened to the rest of the crew? And I think for me, reading the book and watching the movie, I just assumed that they didn't make it through the stasis. They just didn't make it through. Yeah. But apparently there's a whole story behind the other two astronauts, and Andy Weir said he's actually writing about that. Yeah. So there's something else that went on there, and that's sort of like why I was wondering, coming back to what we were talking about before, I couldn't remember the state of what they were in when Ryland finds them. Yeah. Right? Because apparently something else happened. So I don't know.
Oh, you have the same initials.
Yes, he has the same initials. And I saw another interview where Ryan Gosling's kids said, well, you have the same initials as
the character you're playing. Yeah, that's true. Okay, anyway.
But so that's why I was trying to remember. So if you're listening to this and you remember, you have thoughts on that. But apparently there's a whole backstory
really
between those two. Well,
they look
when
mummified.
he finds them, but the point is where they cleaned up or not. Like that, it would imply that maybe they were awake before and something else happened. And that's sort of where I'm going with that, because Andy Weir says he's going to write a story about those two. So something happened, and I was just wondering what they did in the movie that might lead into that. And that's what I was trying to remember, what they look like in the movie, because I can't remember.
I think they
and I'd have to go back and see it and pay attention, but I wasn't thinking about it because I saw the interview. Did I see the interview before? Maybe I did. But yeah, so
maybe
so there might be something else going on with the other two, and I can't remember the name of the two scientists, but I'm really bad with names. But right? Okay. So yes, that's what I wanted to write about.
Okay.
And my last thing is Jamesortiz. So if you have something else,
yeah, actually, I do have. I have a bit more. Yeah. So I think the one for me, I think the scene that translated the best.
Was translated best.
How
interesting!
Was surprisingly the one where he was in the lab, like with the on Earth, and like he figured out the acid phase escapes, because that was like basically exactly.
I didn't write it.
That was exactly how I pictured it would happen.
I think they did that really well.
Yeah, I think they did that very well.
It's just like, I think they did that
very well. Yeah,
how they multiplied, and I was just like, and like because we read the book, it's like, and how many do you see? And I'm like,
yeah.
And they did that whole thing. What was the name of the they added this
Carl.
too.
Officer Carl.
Was it Carl? They didn't do that in the book, but I think
Carl.
I think having him.
I liked Carl, even though he was like added and like
in
adding him, they removed like a lot of the plot around the other crew members and the ones who were supposed to go instead. Like, even though they removed a lot of that,
they added this. Yeah, I think Carl was a great addition.
He was cool.
Because for me, I look at the movie and the book as two separate pieces of art. The
one thing that did completely break continuity for me was the very, very obvious product placement of Skittles. That was too obvious. That was too obvious.
So like go to the hardware store and pick up all the Skittles.
Very obvious.
Oh my god! Yeah.
If it wasn't product placement, then it was hilarious. But that just really feels like it was product placement.
What did they use in the book? I know they picked up snacks. They picked up snacks. I can't remember what it was.
Maybe it was,
so it's not the fact that they had snacks. That was still in the book.
The Skittles were everywhere.
But the choice of Skittles.
Really obvious product placement.
But I love Carl. I think that was that was a really good character to add.
Yeah.
Because in the book, those guys are just they switch shifts and they come and they go. And he does interact with them, but no, I don't think there's
not like one main guy.
Yeah. And then I think at the end, the last person he sort of sees is Carl.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really nicely done. I really like that.
Because like even though like he spent all this time with this guy, at the end of the day, this guy is still. Like,
and then Carl says to him, "You're gonna be great."
You're gonna be great.
I mean, what a nice thing.
Unnecessarily cruel. No, to me that felt a little bit cruel. Like, I know it was intentioned and it probably was meant well, but to me it just felt, I feel like to the character, like to Ryland himself, it probably felt a bit cruel. Because like this is a guy that
I thought it was
so much time
they
with.
did a good job.
And no, like I thought it was a great job, but like I feel like that could be read as both like Carl might have been trying to comfort him, but it also could just be read as like really like just like, okay, of course. Now this one guy that spent all this time with this entire time, he's not on my side.
Yeah, no, but I didn't read it that way. Okay. I read it.
That's how
I don't think Carl liked what was happening.
No, I don't think. That's probably not how you're supposed to read it, but that's how I read it, and it could be read that way.
I guess.
Yeah,
but I think that was just this one last little bit of kindness, knowing.
Maybe I don't know.
You know, and I think out of anyone who would know would be Carl, because he had seen Ryland struggling.
Yeah.
And saw all the stuff that was happening to him. So I think, that was a good choice.
Yeah. And I also liked entire scene where they were like the fishing scene, that entire thing. That was
the fishing scene
where they dropped the collection thing down in the atmosphere, and then he has to go outside. That entire thing was great.
Oh my God.
That was great.
Yeah,
that was great. That was great. I like that. That was great.
That was fantastic.
That was probably my favorite scene.
And that whole thing when he was in the Petrova line.
The look of the planet.
No,
and
but
everything, and space, like they just made it look really nice.
Gives me chills.
It looked really nice.
Yes, that was great.
It looked really nice. Say what we want about like the differences between the movie and book. It looked really nice. It looked really nice.
And I love that whole touch with being in the Petrova line.
Yeah.
Like that was
like the shift to the
that was
cool. Yeah.
That was good.
I understand why that was in all of the trailers.
And on that, I think they did a really good job with him looking for Rocky afterwards when Rocky saved him. And then
like we're going around, they're like.
And they did leave. They left the trail, and that was in the book too about the trail of soot and stuff. Yeah. They didn't do the thing where he tried to save Rocky by taking the soot out and almost killed him. But that didn't need to be in there. So I was wondering if they were going to do that, but they didn't do that. So like when I saw the soot, not when I went into the movie and thinking, are they going to do that whole thing? No, I was surprised that they did the soot at all, actually. Instead of him just finding him like that, because they didn't need to do
but
that.
it builds suspense.
I guess.
Because they're like,
good point.
Looks like Rocky's injured. Where did he go? Why can't we find him? What happened to him?
He's like
burning.
Okay.
I like that they actually like showed, like, because we don't see that in the book, like because we can't see that. But they showed like what happened, and you were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like
and they did this whole thing where he was trying to heal Rocky.
Screaming. Rocky is like literally like you can hear him like
he was
in
screaming.
Pain. Like
they didn't do that in the movie.
Yeah, that was
he was literally screaming in the book. In the book, he was screaming.
No, they did that in the book. In the movie.
They did?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Gotta go see it again.
Yeah.
Gotta go see it again.
I think, now it's like going second run in IMAX.
Second run. We saw it in 70 millimeter.
Yes. Yeah.
See it on the IMAX screen.
Yeah.
Somebody at school. Okay. I have one more thing I want to talk. Okay, you do, because I want to end off with Jamesortiz.
Okay, that's fine. Well, actually, in a way, what I wrote kind of, it's a little bit. So, I liked that. Like it was not a bad thing that they did the Jamesortiz voice, but I would have like a big part of the like reading it in the book. I don't know what they did in the audiobook, but a big part of reading it, like you can, yes, Rocky does like speak, but I was really looking forward to like hearing notes. Yeah, hearing the notes. Like that was like my main thing. Cause like I am like a music person. I like that's why I kind of really loved the book so much, because like it's literally like
and in the book they have the little notes, right?
It's literally something that communicates like with some form of basically what sounds to a human.
So, but how do you think they would do that? Like, okay, in the book, if they did it like they did in the audiobook, you would hear the notes.
That's what I was thinking they would do.
And then you would hear Rocky. But I think that would make the movie longer. And I think that's probably what the problem is, right?
Because is what it was.
But it makes sense that you would do that. You would hear the notes, and then the system would translate it.
I was thinking they would juxtapose. They would have like the notes at a lower level.
See,
but still hear it, but we didn't hear it at all.
you got to start working there and advise them on that. Yeah, but you could have the notes. but if you really were going to be consistent, it would have to be the notes first.
Notes,
and then it would be the translation.
Yeah,
but
it's
true.
Or notes and subtitles. I saw like someone had said like, oh, they could have put like the notes and then subtitles, but it wouldn't be quite the same. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I did. In the end, they just had subtitles.
I can't remember.
Right? Yeah, they didn't have.
You get so engrossed in the thing that you didn't. I don't know. So. Yeah. But that's why when I was listening to the book, I was wondering how they did it in the book, like because it
literally is little music notes.
But it really did add a lot in the book when you heard the music, and then you then you hear the blah blah blah. Da, 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 like that kind of thing. Yeah. So I agree. That would have been cool if they had done that, which they didn't.
That's okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I understand why it would have been way too complicated.
Or it might have made the movie that much, because it was already 2.5 hour movie. Because it would have added everything, right? It would have, But anyways, choices. Okay. So now Jamesortiz. I have to talk about Jamesortiz. Hashtag best supporting actor.
Did you just say? Okay.
Yes, I'm inventing a hashtag.
Okay. Oh, no, you spoke hashtag.
I spoke a hashtag.
Okay.
However you say it. So it would have to be hashtag James Ortiz for best supporting actor.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Is that what we would
know.
do here?
I don't think we would do that at all.
I am just... It just blows me away that this guy is like, he's obviously very talented. He's talented as a puppeteer and he's talented as an actor. Any interview that you see, and the reason he was there all the time is because he's an actor. He was going to be there as Ryan Gosling's scene partner and he embodied that character. But, the thing is, he went in not expecting that his voice was going to be used. And I think that makes this whole thing so much more special, because it was a surprise to him. Because who could have pulled that off, right? And I think any interview that you hear with James Ortiz, he's Rocky, right? You can hear the voice. He slips right into Rocky's voice. And I just think it's amazing. And I think, having been an actor on a bit where I thought they were going to use my voice for something and then they didn't use my voice for it. So it was like the opposite. Really and then hearing another person's voice when I'm on screen, like, that is weird. So I
kind of wrote a paper a little bit about that, but
you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
kind
okay.
of, a little
bit
bit
about that. Anyways, so I just think that so this is like the reverse. You're going in there thinking they're not going to use your voice, but for a huge picture, like, oh my God, it's probably going to be the biggest picture of the year. And then they use your voice. Oh my God. So you're not just you're never just the puppeteer. You're never just a rocket, right? Or rocketeer, or whatever he called the whole group. But I think that that gets lost in that, because I see it's just like a person playing an instrument, right? So a musician, right? If you're a puppeteer and one that's as talented as that whole group of puppeteers was, this is your instrument, and this is how you perform. You're a performer. You're an actor, whether it's through a puppet or with your face, right? And I think that I think this is really going to make a big difference, right? So, I mean, we're going to talk about Mando and Grogu, right? And Grogu's a puppet. He's got a whole team.
I'm just amazed at the
and
fact that they
but
can do
we
all
know
this
who
stuff
they
with
are?
puppets.
Do we hear anything about who those puppeteers are?
Yeah.
It's like,
but there's so many puppets in
but really, we should
the sci-fi genre
know who they
general,
are.
The sci-fi genre in general.
Because they bring them to life. Put it this way: the whole world fell in love with a character has no face, no eyes, nothing,
no mouth,
and we fell in love with this character.
Technically, he does have a mouth.
You tell me,
but he doesn't.
You don't see it.
Speak.
You don't see it. But really, right? You fell in love with a character. That's how good of an actor James Ortiz is, right? Right, and even like we'll talk about Mando and Grogu again, like
even the voice acting too, like
sure,
like the voice and the body, not your body, but body nonetheless.
Yes, yeah. But then, like I used to say about Pedro Pascal, how good of an actor he is, because you know what he's thinking even when he has his helmet on, right? So I mean, there's a certain physicality that the puppeteers have given to an inanimate object to make it real, and I think that this is amazing, and I really hope that this is gonna be like a breakout thing for puppetry. I think even today at lunch you're saying like, I wish I knew that was a job when I was
you were saying
I said that
you were saying that wasn't me. That wasn't me. Okay,
I said that.
I
wish because I used to put on puppet shows all the time, and if I had known that was I was the kid in the backseat of the car putting on a puppet show for the people driving behind my wouldn't be able to do that now anymore, but I love puppets, and I just think that this is an amazing art, and I just love it. So this whole thing was amazing. I don't know if I have anything else. And then I saw it. Sorry. Because James Ortiz apparently is doing a project with the Met. I saw. So that's something we have to keep our eye out for. I looked. He said he's starting the project in the fall, so I have no idea, but it's supposed to be an opera in English. So let's look out for an opera in English.
You might do that.
And that would be something that James Ortiz is involved in. And so I, big fan. So I any and everything that he does, I'm going to try and, because he's talented. I very much enjoy it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add?
No, that's all I had.
So, final synopsis on Project Hail Mary.
2 thumbs down.
2 thumbs down.
No.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fist my bump.
You can't say that, buddy. Yeah.
So 2 thumbs up. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. I think we both loved it. If you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? You've got to go see it. It's really something.
Well, I mean, by the time this comes out,
yeah,
maybe
but most
you might
people,
not be able to. But
well, no, but it will come
Yeah.
out on. It's going to be. Was it Amazon? Was it Amazon?
No, this. I
Or
don't
is-
think this. No, that's Good Omens.
I'm thinking of Good Omens.
Yeah, Good Omens. We're gonna do one.
Yeah,
look
we'll be
for
talking
that.
about Good Omens.
We're gonna
Good
do
Omens
that
3.
too.
But yeah, so I'm sure it's going to come out on something.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Maybe.
see it because
Maybe,
it's really a good thing, you know. And then if you're sort of torn between should I read the book first or see the movie first, I say read the
Either
book
one is
first.
fine,
I
honestly.
say read the book first.
Yeah, I mean, if you read the book, then you'll understand a few things that are going on.
Yeah, I don't think
a
you'll be
bit
disappointed
more.
with the movie even if you read the book
Yeah.
first. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, at least, yeah.
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 Okay. So that's it for Project Hail Mary. We enjoyed it.
Yes.
And please, if you have more to add, especially about the other 2 astronauts, and I can't remember what the character names are, but yes, please give a comment. And what did you guys think of Project Hail Mary? Hopefully, most people liked it, but
I'm thinking definitely most people liked it.
but yeah. All right. So thank you for listening and being part of the Birds on Power Lines podcast.